Another Comic-Con has come and gone, which means the internet has been flooded with new trailers for upcoming movies and TV shows. Of the many footage reveals at Comic-Con, none were more spectacular than the first footage from Avengers Infinity War, which I'm proud to say I can show you right now, if your name is Kevin Feige and you send me the exclusive footage. In the meantime, you'll have to be satisfied with this awesome new trailer for Thor Ragnarok. This looks like a very different movie than the previous Thor films. You have Hulk vs. Thor, God Bros shooting lasers, Hulk vs. Fenrir, Jeff Goldblum, and Hulk vs. Surtur. I don't really know what's going on here, but it looks pretty damn great. On the TV end of Marvel Entertainment, we've got a new Defenders trailer, pretty much exactly what you'd expect it to be, 4 reluctant heroes even more reluctant to work together. Well, 3 of them are reluctant. Iron Fist is just looking for good pork. Inhumans also got a new trailer, and there's a lot of negativity around this one, but I'd say it has an average chance of being average. At least Lockjaw looks pretty good, and I am curious to see how they handle a main character that doesn't speak. It'll also be interesting to see how it compares to The Gifted, the other Marvel-based TV show themed around a family of superpowered people on the run from a world that doesn't want them around. Meanwhile, on the DC side of things, the new Justice League trailer looks good enough to be optimistic. My bet is that Ezra Miller's Flash will be the breakout character from the movie. There also seems to be a 6th hero entering the mix. Gee, I wonder who it could be. Maybe it's somebody connected to Krypton, which got a very short teaser from Sify, but yes, it looks like this show is actually happening. Over in the realm of animation, Young Justice didn't get a trailer, but Greg Weisman did release the updated character art for the next generation of heroes, including 3 new characters, Spoiler, Arrowette, and 13. Meanwhile, the next 4 DC animated originals were announced, starting with an adaptation of Batman Gotham by Gaslight, followed by a new Suicide Squad movie, and then a 2-parter series adapting The Death of Superman and Reign of the Supermen. And finally for DC Animation, Freedom Fighters The Ray will be coming to CW Seed. The show looks to be set in an alternate world where Nazis rule and the Ray and his friends fight evil versions of the CW's live-action lineup. Of course, there were more than just comics at Comic-Con. Steven Spielberg showed off the first trailer for Ready Player One. The movie is about a dystopian future where everybody practically lives in virtual reality, racing on insane tracks and fighting alongside the Iron Giant in 80s pop culture references. Oh yeah, sounds terrible. And speaking of giant fighting robots, Pacific Rim 2 is on the way. Not much in actual footage, but hey, more giant robots are always cool. Over on TV, a new trailer for the Orville was also released. It's not long, and some of it is unoriginal, but hey, it still looks like fun, and it still looks more like Star Trek than Star Trek Discovery, which also released a new trailer. And okay, sure, it doesn't really look that much like Star Trek, but that does seem to kinda be the point.
Change is the essential process of all existence.
Now to see if people will change to CBS All Access to watch it. Coming soon to Netflix, there's Bright, starring Will Smith and a new buddy cop show set in an LA that is just a little more fantastical than usual. It looks like Lethal Weapon mixed with Dungeons & Dragons, and I can dig that. And finally, get ready to say goodbye to Peter Capaldi. Teasing the last Christmas special before the Doctor meets his end, it seems that the 13th Doctor will be teaming up with the first one. Now that's some timey-wimey antics. Comic-Con also had some video game news coming out this year, particularly from Telltale, who made some announcements about their comic-centric adaptation, starting with a new Batman series, Batman: The Enemy Within. Not only is the Joker finally out to play, but it seems that he's bringing the Riddler into the mix as well. But while Batman is still getting started, Telltale's The Walking Dead looks to finally be coming to a close for a 4th and final season. So will Clementine get a relatively happy ending? It'll be interesting to see how this character's story comes to a close. And finally, Telltale has given in to the demands of the internet and, at long last, announced that The Wolf Among Us will be getting a 2nd series in 2018. And in non-Comic-Con related news, Overwatch is updated, releasing Doomfist to the masses. The new patch also updates the loot box system to reduce the number of duplicates and introduces a big upgrade to the highlight options, allowing you to save highlights on the fly and export them into video files to share. Moving on to new releases, hitting theaters this week, well, last week technically, go out and see Atomic Blonde. If you want more women in action roles, stop bellyaching about a female James Bond and support a spy movie that looks cooler than every Bond movie since Casino Royale. And this is coming from a guy that liked Skyfall and Spectre. The fight choreography itself looks to be worth the price of admission. As far as new releases go, we have The Dark Tower. An otherworldly Idris Elba battles Matthew McConaughey for the fate of the universe with the help of an American child and a lot of bullets. Yeah, okay, I can get behind that. And on television, Rick and Morty Season 3 finally starts up today on Adult Swim. Get ready for the darkest season yet, because I have a feeling this show might start to get a little bit weird. And also getting a third season is Voltron the Legendary Defender on Netflix, which seems to also be getting a little bit dark. What did happen to the pilot of the Black Lion anyway? In video games this week, The Secret World is transitioning to a free-to-play model with a new name. The underrated 2012 MMORPG is being rebranded as Secret World Legends with a new combat system and, doubtlessly, microtransactions galore. Whether this breathes new life into the game or ends up being a last resort cash grab remains to be seen. Next up, Crusader Crash looks kind of interesting if you want to get your retro fix in. It looks like kind of a medieval Mega Man with NES-style graphics. Sounds neat enough. For something a little more stylish, Aztez is a cool-looking beat-em-up with some amazing-looking combat. More than that though, there seems to be some strategy elements involved, giving you different paths to conquer the Aztec Empire in between fighting sessions. And for more fighting, there's Sango Guardian Chaos Generation Steam Edition. I kinda doubt we'll be seeing this game at the next EVO, but wow, that name. For the RPG fans out there, The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel looks to be the next wave of PS3 ports now that the Trails of the Sky trilogy is complete. Or you could go a little more lowbrow with Dark Elf, a super sexualized retro RPG that combines 16-bit era sprites with hentai visual novels. Honestly, I'm kinda surprised we don't see more games like this out of the RPG maker crowd. If you just want to die a lot, Burn It Down is the latest in a long line of hardcore 2D platformers. Pretty standard fare here, but it looks like there's an interesting and dark story involved. And finally, Juanito Arcade Mayhem doesn't look like it has the greatest mechanics, but it makes up for it with a fun concept of blasting through classic arcade games and some really impressive animation. Wrapping things up with this week's CGBros video, Star Falls by Glow Production is an illuminating take on the Star Wars story. And what the heck, have another one. To Life by Esma gives you a nice little tale of a little girl and the Grim Reaper.
Et pourquoi tu te promènes avec une faux? Tu peux me la faire voir?
Non.
S'il te plaît. Mais pourquoi? Allez, s'il te plaît. Oops.
And finally, don't miss the climax to Stephen Colbert's trip to Russia in his search for a specific golden treasure.
It's true. Room 1101, the presidential suite of the Ritz-Carlton Hotel. I rented it. Here's the key. Let's go.
That's everything for this week, so what piece of news out of Comic-Con has you most excited? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to hit that like button, pass this video around to a friend, maybe subscribe to my channel, and have a great week!